Hello, hello. This is Pat with Teresa Papers. I am out in the Bluebird Bungalow. It's Friday, January 13th. And no, I am not going to mention what that means because I'm not superstitious. I have a new digital kit to introduce to you today that I'm so excited about. It is a recipe file, and it is designed after a stove or oven or range that my dear friend Teresa ordered from France that finally was delivered to her beautiful new home. And I asked her if I could take a photo and create this kit. She doesn't know what I'm doing with the photo. That'll be a surprise for her. But this is a digital kit that is available on my Etsy shop, Teresa Papers. I will link it down below. And I hope you'll follow through this tutorial as I explain how to assemble this cute kit. Now, as we open this up, it has 8 accordion pockets that fall open. Your kit also includes a sheet of recipe cards that are somewhat vintage looking, that will slide down into the pockets, and quite a few will fit into it. You receive 8 sheets of decorative paper. Now, I am prepped to create this, so mine are put into the pocket shapes for the most part. I have 2 here, but these are the different papers that you will receive. You will receive a sheet of little burner tabs like I've got here to put onto your pockets. You will receive on that same sheet, and this one is not on cardstock, but I do suggest you do it on cardstock for strength. There are 2 strips of tiles, and I'll talk about tiles in just a second. These are kind of an extra piece that you could use decoratively. I've got a couple of ideas coming up that we'll use this for, but right now they'll be extra, so just set them aside. And these again are the burner tabs. And then on Teresa's oven, right here and here, her husband had them engraved. It says, "Let them eat cookies" on this side, and on this side it says, "Mother Teresa, June 2022. So I've made us some little oval plates, so to speak. One's "Let us cook," or "Let's cook," "Cook like a chef," "Let them eat cookies," "Teresa's oven," "Bon appetit," and then I've given you blank ones that you can write in with a brown pen your name. And my thought is that we could cut them out and put them right there, or you could put them down here, up here. This is interesting. The oven, or the range, the top, these are the knobs, they're not centered. If you aren't one that needs to have things centered, that's where you would put it. I would do that. Okay? You also will receive a template that you will print on the back of your decorative papers. This is how you will fold your sheets to make the pockets for the insides. And you can see as we open this up, you're able to look down in and see some lines that help us place the tabs, the burner tabs. And it gives you some flaps, A flaps, B flaps, and C flaps. That will make sense as we go forward. And you'll also receive, of course, your cover. I mean, you know, that should have been the first thing I mentioned. Your cover, and again, print on cardstock, but we are going to strengthen it a bit also. And then here is a template for measuring your chipboard, just to kind of give you a visual. I've got the oven back in here. You're going to want your chipboard to fit those sides. So that's just, this is more for visual, and we'll refer to that as when we get to that part. Now, let's get started. I have scored around the oven, top and bottom, and after I did that and folded them, I wanted to be able to see where my edges were. And white on film just does not quite pick up. Plus, as I'm standing here looking at it, it doesn't always pick up well. So I have just distressed a little. I did some measuring. And I just want you to know that if you have a printer that does not print borderless, don't worry about these white lines. They are the edges, they're going to be covered up. Same thing with your papers. My printer does wacky things. It almost seems like it wants to do borderless, but then it changes its mind. So don't worry about any white borders, because wherever they are, they won't be seen. As you can see, I've got white borders here. I'm not worrying about them. I want the extra paper that they offer also. All right, so now I'm going to measure, and I'm at 7 1/4 by 4 5/8. And I cheated, and I've cut mine already. And these will just sit right in here. We don't want them to cover where we're going to fold the paper. All right, so I've got 2 of those, one for there, one for there. And I also have my spine that is, I'm thinking it may be just a bit wide, or that way. I'm going to cut it here. I think I'm going to give it a little trim so it's not binding that fold, because we want it to be able to fold as we are pulling this up. Let's see, I think I still over here could do a little more trimming. All right. Now, to prepare the cover for this, we are going to do some mitering. So I'm going to come up on an angle there and an angle there. Don't you love it when you've got sticky scissors and they just hold on to it for you? All right. And there, there, and there, and there. And then for this area, we're going to take just a little wedge out like that just to cut away some of that excess cardstock that would bind it, be too thick. So just another little slice of cheese out. All right. And I have been using my big, oh boy, you're a mess. My ATG, which is Advanced Tape Glider by Scotch, just because it's quick and dry for timing as we do this. So I'm going to add my chipboard, and both sides should be the same. Do I sound confident in that? Sure. Sure, I'm confident. All right. Let's put this corner to corner, kind of evening it out, making sure it's not over that crease at the bottom. Let's do the other side. I hope everyone's year has got off to a good start. I did travel at Christmas, and I traveled last week, and I don't know, but traveling seems, this time of year seems to get me, and I've had another cold or just a resurgence of my old one. So I apologize for my voice. I hope you're able to hear me. And on that note also, I would like to say that when you're listening with YouTube, not everybody's YouTube volume seems to come in the same way. And if I should sound loud or screechy, or it's too loud, please feel free to adjust your volume, and I will try to adjust my volume of my voice as I'm talking to you, so that it's not uncomfortable. I'm just not getting you thin enough. Let's try again. Watch, this will be like cutting bangs, where you cut, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, I just cut too much. Let's find out. All right, there we go. I think I've got the space. Now let's just glue that in. Just like that. Okay, and now I'm just going to come down around the sides. What this does is it finishes off the chipboard edges nicely, and then we will be gluing our pockets on top of this, so all that white that I was mentioning before will be gone. I don't know if you're able to hear in the background, my chimes are just ringing like crazy. It's a blustery day here in Georgia. Last night there were tornadoes in the area. We were fortunate, but the Hobby Lobby, I guess it's about 8 miles south of us, the whole roof was taken off, and I had planned to go shopping there today, so I guess I'll have to go to a different Hobby Lobby if I'm gonna shop. All right, which makes me very sad to hear that. All right, so here's our cover. I do want to mention there is a front and a back. The back, I do have Petresca papers, 2023, and the front does not. And I did want to show you the difference. I printed this just on normal I printed this on my best for my printer. I don't know how well you can see it, but whenever we're printing, you're not ever going to get the best quality because I'm using just a regular cardstock. There is photo cardstock that you could use and you would get a very vivid picture. But for my purposes, I'm okay with this. But this did come out clearer. Just wanted to show you that difference. All right. Now, before I forget, because I want to forget, we want to put on our tie. And for that, you will need, I think it's about 12 inches is what I'm allotting. It could be a little bit long. And we really would like to find the middle. I have a cheater ruler here that if I line it up on each side evenly, which I'm so good at, I can come up with my middle without doing math. If I didn't have this, I probably would come up with a piece of paper that size and fold it in half. If you are good, you can do the math, which is not too hard. So 7 1/4 is my width, which would be 3 3/4, I believe, and we're about right there. Okay. Just gonna come down here, and let's mark there. I'm going to use a piece of double-sided tape that I have right here, just to make it quick and easy. Right there, and right there. The reason we need to get this in is before we put the pockets on, so that this will be covered. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. So I'm going to put you right there. And let's see, are you straight? Looks like it. Okay. My other one wasn't, and it's still tied. Okay. All right. We will set our cover to the side, and let's work on our pockets. So I have these ready. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've got 2. Whoa, you're not in the right place. Where did you come out of? I think you're up here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to make 2, and then we'll start assembling them. So this is what you will get. You'll have your papers all printed. Once they printed through, and I don't know, everyone's printer is different. Mine is a top loading, and they come out like this. So when I'm done with them, I'm just going to pick them up and put them back in, and they'll come out with this on the back side, which is your template for making your pockets. So I'm going to do my trimming, and there's instructions on here. We're going to cut off corners, and I printed this, or I created this to be very faint. I didn't want it too faint so you couldn't read it or see the lines, but it does not carry through to the other side of the paper. Plus, you really wouldn't see it once we get all the pockets stacked on each other. Okay? All right. Now, we're folding onto the wrong side first because we can see it easier. So I'm folding my A flaps that are labeled for me. And then I'm going to fold my B flaps. Well, B and C on one side and B and C on the other. Makes it much easier to see, and then we can open it up, and now we're ready for our adhesive and to fold them on themselves. And the instructions tell us to glue. Hello, what are you doing? The A flaps into the inside. So there's my first A flap and my second A flap. And now we will do the same with the B flaps. They will fold into the center, into the inside, not to the center, into the inside. All right, now we are going to take the side where everybody's already glued and fold it and meet it up here and make sure it's even, and then crease it closed, and then put some adhesive on C. And if you don't have a tape runner, use glue stick or liquid glue is just fine. This just is so handy to be a little speedier as I'm trying to make this as short as possible without rushing. Okay, so here is a finished pocket. Just so that you can see that again, I have one ready. So I've trimmed, took out the little wedges. I've folded, and now I'm doing both A flaps, folding them in on themselves. I folded them the wrong side first to just kind of give me a head start. And the B flaps. And fold it up onto itself. Right, like that. Give it a good crease. C flaps. And another pocket. The papers that have been created for you, my friend Tracy helped me to create them, and they're just beautiful. Use them for all kinds of things. All right, so we need to add 2 more burner tabs. I did run them through my Xyron. I cheated. If you've got a Xyron, it's an awesome tool. I did score them, and I would suggest that you cut them out, fold them, or score them before you get to this point so that they're ready. They can be glued in with liquid glue or glue stick. And so let's put this one to the side. This is the last one I'm going to do before I put the one against the covers. But if you look inside here, you're able to see I've got 4 sections, one for each of the burner tabs. So I'm looking in here, and I want to match it to that little white space there. So I'm going to reach in here and I don't know how much you're able to see, but it goes right there. No, I think I'm down low. Let's see here. Oh, okay, come on. Well, let's put it against. No, you are. This one's there. This one's there. Let's see if we can use you to kind of help guide our height. Right there. And then I'm going to pull that down. Looks pretty good. And then let's put this one on, and then we'll have them all ready. Oh, come on. Right there. Now this one's easy because we know it goes all the way to that side. Let's see if we've got that folding about right, I think. Well, I think you could come out just a little bit before I commit. Right like that. All right. There we go. Now, to assemble these into our cover. We're going to choose this back one to start. And this one does need to be totally covered with adhesive, whether it's tape runner, whether it's liquid glue, whether it's glue stick. You want this glued solid, because this is going to go on the back side, and that's the back because of the Petresca papers. It will go right here. We want to match it up with that bottom fold. We don't want to cover it, and then kind of eyeball that you've got some space on both sides. All right, so that one's on, and you can see you've got a pocket there. Okay, in fact, let's put, I think this one's better. It's a little thinner, just to reach in there and make sure everything is making contact. Now we're going to turn these over so we're working the correct order. Now, I have somewhere, I don't know where you've gone, a piece of cardstock just to help me not over glue this top. Because what we're going to do is, whether you're doing liquid glue, glue stick, or a tape runner, again, we're going to put just like an inch of adhesive in the middle of that envelope, and we are going to match up the bottom and the top and the sides. Sorry, I hit my camera. I don't know if I put it out of whack or not. Hope not. And we're just going to continue on with just a strip of glue and then matching them up. Okay, and it leaves a little space there where that ribbon can slide in. There's that one. And match it up. And give it a burnish with your hands. Okay, This one slides in there now. And now we're doing that second row because there are 8 papers, 8 pockets. You could make more if you like. 8 seemed like a good number because the 4 burners fit across the top nicely. Trying to stagger the colors, and I'll show you. They don't show a lot, but on the side they do. Now, if you wanted to have more color inside of your pocket, you could leave off the template and print your colors to the inside. And I guess you wouldn't want to print that template to the outside. It wouldn't be very attractive. All right, so one more is going with the center. We're almost done, believe it or not. I don't know how long I've been working on this. I think it's a little longer than I wanted it, but so be it. Now, this one needs to be glued here, solid. So we're going to add all the adhesive. So this one will go on that cover inside. Matching that bottom fold and centering it. All right, now this is going to come in and match there. So I'm going to put, again, my little piece of paper in there and do my inch and pull them up, keeping that bottom flat, and press that, and then just to make sure, I use my bone folder to get in there, and also to get onto that back. And this is what we have. They're not sticking to each other. There we go. It opens up like a fan. And see how pretty the colors are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And your recipe cards will fit in it nicely. And this ties like this to keep it closed, because you know it's going to get full of yummy recipes. So here is our finished recipe book. It stands because we did do that extra strengthening, and I don't have one ready, but I'll add a little tag here for whatever I'll probably do. Let them eat cookies on this one. This one is for Teresa. It's the first one that I've done that's not a prototype. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. If you're interested in purchasing the kit, you can pick this up at Petresca Papers at my Etsy shop, and that will be linked down below. Also, if you would like to join my Petresca Papers Facebook group, that will be linked below also. And I'm not going to link where you can go buy this La Corneau, L-A and then C-O-R-N-E-A-U oven. But if you want to, Google it. You will be amazed at it. All right. Thank you so much. It's nice to be back, and hope you all have a great day today. Thank you. Bye-bye.